Welcome, wrestling fans, to Tim Reynolds Show's WWE show review of the season premiere of Monday Night Raw from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And we would see the show kicked off with a video promo of the Wyatt Six and American Made, as these two have been at each other for weeks, matches after matches, and drama after drama, as it would see the call come to this night where we would see an 8-person street fight match. That's right, folks, as Wyatt Six is taking on American Made, Chad Gable, the Creed brothers, and Ivy Nile, as we would see them come out to the ring first, and then of course the Wyatt Six would come out with their eerie entrance that would scare anybody. But American Made was not scared, as they would bring the fight straight to Wyatt Six, using every single weapon they could think of, from a kendo stick to trash cans to chairs and the tables, putting one of the Wyatt members through a table and using every single weapon, trying to bring the fight to them. But it wouldn't be enough, as the Wyatt Six would build back momentum, and Uncle Howdy, who had been sitting on the sidelines in a rocking chair, would come in and hit a Sister Abigail to Chad Gable in the middle of the ring, as the Wyatt Six would get the victory in this street fight matchup to kick off the season premiere of Monday Night Raw. And what a way to kick off the show. What a really good matchup. And then after this, guys, we would see up next a video from last week's What Happened to Rhea Ripley when she came out to the ring to address the WWE Universe and was distracted and interrupted by Dirty Dominic Mysterio, who was setting her up to be jumped by Liv Morgan. And even though Rhea would counter that, we would see later on, along with her terror twin Damian Pierce, they would get jumped and beaten down by the Judgment Day. But of course, we would see Finn Balor come out to the middle of the ring to address the WWE Universe and call out Damian Priest. And the reason why is he would say Damian Priest is the one who betrayed the Judgment Day, not the Judgment Day betraying him. And he would also make sure he said that Finn Balor is no one's sidekick, after Damian made Finn Balor feel like he was a sidekick when he was in the Judgment Day. And then he would call out Damian Pierce, who would definitely come out to the middle of the ring to confront Finn Balor, ready for a fight. But of course, Finn Balor would just lay down a challenge to Priest, as he would say, "I want to challenge you one-on-one at Bad Blood." And of course, Damian Priest would accept this challenge of Finn Balor, but not before he tried to get his hands on him. But Finn Balor would set him up, as we would see the Judgment Day come out to beat up Damian Priest, as Carlito, JD McDonough would beat up Priest, and then Rhea Ripley would come out to the ring to try to help. But of course, Liv Morgan would beat down Rhea Ripley, as the Judgment Day left the Terror Twins in the middle of the squared circle, beaten down once again. A huge statement made by the Judgment Day. Man, this Monday Night Raw is getting hectic, as we see now at Bad Blood, it will be Damian Pierce going one-on-one with Finn Balor. What a matchup that's going to be at the Premium Live event. And then next up after this, we would see a backstage interview with the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, after he earned a possible Intercontinental Championship match, as long as he can get through this fatal four-way in the final match of the Intercontinental Championship tournament. Now, after making it to this match, he was asked in the interview how he plans on contending with his injured ribs, and he said he plans on proving why he deserves to be in this matchup, and why he's going to head and prove everybody wrong, and why he wants to prove to everybody why he's the Monster Among Men. But Braun Breaker would actually come into this interview and interrupt him and warn him and say, "Be careful with what you wish for, because if you think I'm scared of you, you big ol' sob, I ain't," as Braun Breaker is not intimidated even of the big man like Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman. And then shortly after this, guys, we would see a next matchup of the evening, as it would be for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, as we would see the champions Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair take on the former champs, the Unholy Union of Alba Fire and Israel Dawn. And they would not last long in this matchup, as Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair would take care of business pretty easily and retain their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. But we would see them later on in the show be confronted backstage by Damage Control, who are looking to challenge them for those titles, and we'll have to see what happens going forward on next week's Monday Night Raw after that. And then next up after this, we would see a backstage interview with LWO member Dragon Lee, with LWO by his side, and during this interview, he would be interrupted by the Judgment Day, as we would see them intimidating Dragon Lee and the LWO. But Rey Mysterio would stick up for Dragon Lee and say, "Hey Finn, if you think you're so badass and such a big man, well, why don't you fight me then later on tonight one-on-one?" And of course, Finn Balor would accept this challenge, as we would see this matchup later on in the show. And then after this, guys, we would see Bret the Hitman Hart, as we would see Bret making a special appearance in Calgary, Alberta, Canada for this Monday Night Raw show, and after he would come out to the ring being welcomed, then we would see him interrupted by none other than the World Heavyweight Champion himself, Gunther, as the ring general came out to the ring to not only praise Bret Hart, to tell him that he's one of his heroes, but also really to just talk some shit, and it wasn't good, as he put down Bret the Hitman Hart and had the audacity to say that he is now the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And this was just straight bad, disrespectful, and of course, Canadians' own Sami Zayn would come out to the ring to confront the ring general, saying that is no way to disrespect and treat a Canadian wrestling hero in the Bret the Hitman Hart. And of course, after confronting him, he would say, if you think you're the best, then why did you deny my challenge last week when I challenged you for the World Heavyweight Championship? And of course, Gunther would shrug him off, saying, and once again, turning down his offer, as Sami Zayn tried to once again say, hey, well, if you think you're the best, then why don't you take me on? Sami Zayn versus Gunther, number 2 for the World Heavyweight Championship. But Gunther turns down Sami Zayn once again, but we would see Bret the Hitman Hart call Gunther a coward as he was trying to leave the ring, and Gunther did not like this, as he was getting mad and angry, but Sami Zayn would stick up and defend Bret Hart as he confronts him, getting right in Gunther's grill, and we would see these two go to blows as Sami Zayn lays a big hit down and sends a message to the World Heavyweight Champion, and a message that is, Sami Zayn wants your title. Man, what a way for him, the Canadian's own Sami Zayn, to send a message to Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion. And then we would see next up after this, guys, a backstage interview with Pete Dunne, who would be who actually not even an interview, he would just be met by Braun Breaker out of nowhere after Pete Dunne's getting ready for this fatal 4-way later on. And we would see Braun Breaker actually warn Pete Dunne about not getting too amped up, because Pete Dunne said to Braun that he plans on winning this number 1 contenders fatal 4-way and coming after and beating him for his Intercontinental Championship. Also plans on going to NXT and winning against Trick Williams to become the number 1 contender and win the NXT Championship. So he says, you don't call me Butch, you can just call me Double Champ. Well, Braun Breaker, not intimidated whatsoever, said, well, good luck in your match there, pal. Man, Braun Breaker is one hell of an Intercontinental Champion. And then we would see next up after this, our matchup of the night, which would be Dominic Mysterio going one-on-one against Dragon Lee. And in this matchup, we would see LWO at ringside and Judgment Day at ringside. And of course, the Judgment Day would get involved in this matchup, costing Dragon Lee the matchup after LWO and the Judgment Day would fight at the ringside, distracting the referee, and Liv Morgan would get into this matchup, costing Dragon Lee the match, as Dirty Dominic Mysterio would get the pin and the victory in this particular matchup. And then next up after that, guys, we would see a 6-women tag match, as it would be Pure Fusion Collective, the team of Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Sonya Deville, as they would be going up against Selena Vega and Isla Valkyria, one of the new members of the women's division, and they wouldn't have a third member. So we would see Sonya Deville running her mouth, saying they don't care who your secret partner is. You might not even have one. And we've already beaten you guys multiple times. So what do you think's going to happen? But we would see Canadian's own, Calgary, Alberta's own, Natalya return to Monday Night Raw, the WWE legend, and she would help her team get the victory in this 6-women tag match as they defeat Pure Fusion Collective with 3 sharpshooters in the middle of the ring, making Zoe Stark tap out as Natalya gets the win in her return match. Wow, what a matchup here, guys. And then next up after this, we would see Drew McIntyre as he comes out to the middle of the ring to address the WWE Universe after his brutal beatdown of CM Punk last week that left him bloody and beaten. And of course, Drew thinks, hey, I've ruined your career. You're done, CM Punk. So now let's move on to what's next. Drew McIntyre, I want to talk about me. But he actually would turn his attention to the commentator booth, up to Wade Barrett, his former friend, or I guess former friend now, after he was pretty much threatening him, saying, if you get in my way once again when I try to take out CM Punk, then I'll have to do something about it and take you out. But general manager Adam Pearce would interrupt Drew McIntyre, saying, this is ridiculous. You need to stop what you're doing. Stop running your mouth. And guess what? You think you took out CM Punk? No, no, no. General manager Adam Pearce spoke to CM Punk, and he's making it official. It's gonna be Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk at Bad Blood in a Hell in the Cell match. Wow! It's finally coming to a conclusion, this bitter rivalry against these two, and it will all come to blows in the Hell in the Cell matchup at Bad Blood. Wow, what an amazing announcement by General Manager Adam Pearce. And then after this, guys, we would see The Miz getting an interview backstage, but then he would actually be getting a talk to by Karrion Kross. That's right, as he was trying to put some tidbits in Miz's ear, but we would see Xavier Woods come and interrupt these two, and Woods was trying to give Miz a little bit of advice, saying, hey man, you shouldn't listen to what Karrion Kross is trying to do because he's trying to mix you and get in your head. And Miz, of course, would counter saying, dude, I know, that's my game. I've played it before. Now, I'm not sure what Karrion Kross said to Miz. It was a little bit whispered, but he did give a nice diss to Xavier Woods about Kofi Kingston and as like, hope that situation works out. And speaking of which, we would see Kofi Kingston come in with Xavier Woods after Miz would leave the scene there. And of course, Kofi Kingston would share the good news to Xavier Woods about the fact that next week he has a #1 contendership shot, as it will be The New Day taking on the World Tag Team Champions, the Judgment Day members Finn Balor and JD McDonough on next week's Monday Night Raw. Wow, what an amazing announcement that we've seen. And then next up after this, guys, we would have our next match of the night, as it would be the legend and WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio going one-on-one with Finn Balor of the Judgment Day. And this matchup would be one-on-one after earlier with LWO and Judgment Day getting involved in Dirty Dominic and Dragon Lee's matchup. We would see both LWO and Judgment Day banned from ringside. And we would have one heck of a match, as we would see these wrestling inside the ring legends really go at one another, and we would see the Hall of Famer unfortunately not be able to defeat Finn Balor, as Finn Balor would get the victory and sends a huge message. Actually, Finn Balor would actually get disqualified in this matchup, giving Rey Mysterio the actual victory, but Finn Balor would be the one who really sends a message by beating down Rey Mysterio and showing what he said he was going to do, which was pretty much leave Rey Mysterio laying right there. Man, what a match against these two. It was really, really good. And then we would see next up after this, guys, we would have a backstage interview with Ilya Dragunov, as he would be pretty much asked if he's ready for his opportunity for the Intercontinental Championship Tournament Fatal 4-Way. And he would be interrupted by Braun Breaker after saying that he has got to go out there and prove to everybody that he is really ready for this opportunity. And Braun Breaker would come and say, listen, man, there's no unfinished business with us whatsoever, okay? I've already beaten you, but go ahead. Go out there, beat everybody like you say you're gonna do, or you think you can do, win the matchup, and then I'll just beat you again. As once again, Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champion, does not look intimidated whatsoever by any of these challengers, except for maybe one, as these two get interrupted by Jey Uso, who doesn't say a word. He just stares down the Intercontinental Champion, walks past Braun Breaker, and gets ready to get the WWE Universe hyped up and yeeted everywhere. Let's go! As this would lead to our main event of the evening. That's right, folks. It's the Fatal 4-Way match in the Intercontinental Championship Tournament, as it would be Ilya Dragunov versus Pete Dunne versus Braun Strowman, the Monster Among Men, and your boy Jey Uso. Main event, Jey Uso, yeet. And man, did we see one heck of a matchup, as these guys left it all in the ring. We seen a super kick from Jey Uso on Ilya Dragunov when he jumped off the top rope. We seen Braun Strowman lay a beat down on everybody. We see Pete Dunne breaking fingers and also taunting Sheamus a little bit, which actually Pete Dunne got jumped by Sheamus earlier in the evening, which was really crazy to see, because Pete Dunne really had that coming. So he was out there trying to pretty much act like he was Sheamus, bending the fingers, really giving it to the guys. But this would not be long, as we would see Braun Strowman really take advantage, really take control of this matchup with his size, with his ability, laying everybody out. And he was going to go ahead and put somebody through a table. But then out of nowhere comes Big Bronson Reed, as he takes out Braun Strowman, putting him through the announcer's table in this Fatal 4-Way matchup, practically eliminating Braun Strowman from this matchup. So with the three remaining competitors, you all know what's about to happen, as main event Jey Uso would get the victory in this one, as he now becomes the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship after winning the Fatal 4-Way, the final match in the Intercontinental Championship tournament. And we would see after he wins the match, everybody's eating, everybody's excited. I cannot wait to see Jey Uso hopefully get a chance at winning his first singles title. But he would be interrupted by Braun Breaker raising his title in the middle of the ring, intimidating Jey Uso. But then the show would go off, and that would be it. And man, what a Monday Night Raw, the season premiere on USA Network from Calgary, Alberta to Canada. And this has been your WWE show review from Tim Reynolds Show. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more WWE show reviews and more sports entertainment you can only get right here on Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and leave some comments to let me know what you think. WWE Universe, let's go. Season premiere Monday Night Raw kicking off without a hitch. And we also got some big news that I guess starting October 7th, Monday Night Raw is going to be 2 hours long instead of 3. And we also found out an announcement from WWE News that SmackDown will also be going to 3 hours long instead of 2 hours. So a good mix up here for the WWE Universe to look forward to, and we'll see what happens. I think this is a good move for WWE because you got Monday Night Raw, or I should say, yeah, Monday Night Raw is competing with Monday Night Football, so I do think with them only going to 2 hours, it's going to help them a little bit more ratings. And hey, like Friday Night SmackDown, it's on Friday night, so why not have it for 3 hours? I think that's going to work out perfectly for them. Love this idea. Thank you guys. This has been just a little tidbit news at the end of this video. If you made it this far, thank you. You rock. You're awesome. Good things are about to happen to you in your life. And hey, this is Tim Reynolds Show. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, tell me what you think of the show. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, WWE Universe. Just a sports fan, a WWE fan following his dream, making a YouTube channel. Please make sure you guys let me know what you think. I appreciate y'all's feedback. This has been Tim Reynolds Show. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.